Me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good afternoon, people, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. I was putting a pre-record out, but for some reason StreamYard's been playing up on me, and it hadn't put it out, so I've come on live, guys. Before we get into everything at the moment, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results, so please smash the likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. I'm currently on 323 subscribers, so on the way to 350 now, so that's brilliant. Thank you very much to everybody that's subscribed so far. I'll get into some comments first of all, and then, Leslie straight in, 40 million plus 5 million add-on, shocking, cost more than Bruno, and we all know Bruno streets ahead. It is what it is, isn't it? It's a problem these days with fees. Leslie says, appreciate it. I'm just going to have to suck it up because it's clear he's come at the tune. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Yeah, absolutely. Can't say I want him by... Yeah, okay, Pablo, no worries. Afternoon all, says Leslie. Pablo says, can't say I want him, but how must see something in him. Yeah, that's the important thing about this as well. It's just broke. We've agreed a deal with Gordon, says Mason. Yep, absolutely. I want to get into that. Let's back him if he comes in, says CD. Thank you very much, CD. And he says, glad I found the channel. Keep up the good work. Love the content. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Thank you. And give the subscribe and smash as well. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your lovely comment there. Yes, guys. So, Anthony Gordon. Is he close to joining Newcastle United? Well, yes, he is. Because in the last few minutes, we've had the breaking news. And the breaking news that we've all been waiting for is the fee was agreed with Everton. And now it's been confirmed. It will be a £40 million fee with £5 million in add-ons, taking it to a total of £45 million. Personal terms are now being discussed, and his move to St James's Park is now edging closer. It could be done over the weekend. So looks like, barring any hiccup on a medical, it looks like this guy will be a Newcastle United player by the weekend. Well, by the end of the weekend, maybe, and we will see him be unveiled by the club. I know he's splitting a lot of opinions, guys, and I can understand why. We know what he's like, his temperament and everything, but Eddie Howe may knock all of this out of him. Eddie Howe may say, right, let's get rid of the anger management or calm it down a bit. Let's calm down the diving side of it. But you know what? Who cares if he's in a black and white shirt and he does it for us and he gets us a free kick and Trippier pops one in the back of the net? Everybody's going to be like, yes, you know, that you're going to just love the guy. But I seriously think he's 21. You got to look at the facts. He's 21. Eddie Howe is a great coach. We know what a motivator Eddie Howe is. Look what he's done with the players. Almiron, St. Maximin, Longstaff, Willock. What Eddie Howe's done to these players and what he could do with Anthony Gordon. he could make Anthony Gordon into a world-class player. Who knows? That's the thing. And he'll just take certain aspects out of his game and change them and change the way he does things. And I mean, our press and intensity game, Anthony Gordon is like that. He's very, very energetic. So he's got the energy. He likes to press. He'd be perfect for our setup. And let's give the guy a chance. He's not everybody's cup of tea. I didn't particularly want him coming to the club, if I'm all honesty. But the more I look at things and the more I think about it, and I think logically, actually, no, it could be a good move all round. So let's all give him 100% backing when he signs. And I say when he signs because, like I say, a medical. We've seen it with Bournemouth. Nicholas Jackson, his medical's in the second phase and something's come up with a knee injury. So that's what I'm saying. These things aren't done deals until medicals are done as well. So we'll all give him the backing if he comes into the club. And who knows? Like I say, we could have a gem on our hands or we could have a stinker on our hands. Who knows? But we've got to trust the process, trust the owners. Eddie Howe must want this player, you know. So we've got to back Eddie Howe on this and trust Eddie Howe's judgment. And, you know, it's just another day and, yeah, he's coming into the club. It looks like he's on his way. So, yeah. And let's get into some comments because comments are starting to fly in now. And give us your opinions on Anthony Gordon. If you don't agree with what I'm saying about Anthony Gordon, but I think just in terms with the Eddie Howe factor, Eddie Howe can make this guy a better player than what he is now. Sorry, but Frank Lampard is not a great coach, not a great manager. He's not a Premier League manager. He's a Championship manager. And maybe Anthony Gordon's career wasn't going anywhere under Lampard. And he possibly doesn't want to play under Dyche. No disrespect to Sean Dyche, because he doesn't exactly play exciting football. Anthony Gordon might want a bit of Eddie Howe's football at Newcastle United. So we'll see what happens, but we've got to give him a chance when he comes into the club. Neil says, yes, Tony boy. Yep. And believe it or not, he's actually our second signing of this window. So if anybody's wondering how he's our second signing, because we're saying Garang Kual. I know we got him back in, I think it was October, November. But he couldn't actually join the club till January. So he's technically our second signing of the window. So that pushes us up the table a bit in terms of buying players in. CD, where do you think he'll fit into the squad? Anthony Gordon, I think, could play anywhere across that front three. He's predominantly known as a left winger, but you could push him forward. You could push him on the right wing if necessary, if you had to, if you wanted to see switch him and Almiron around. But Eddie gets paid all that money to put him in there, so we'll find out where he exactly fits in. But it's youth. He's 21. And it's the model we're going down. We are not going down the road of getting old people in now. Like, I see old people like 29, 30-year-olds. I mean, we were linked with Ziyech, but I can't see that deal happening. Why are we going to bring a player in at 29? He's going to not, he's only going to have a few years left. I know, yes, we might say, well, we did that with Burn, Trippier. Different thing is with Burn, Trippier, and Wood we had to get them players in at that time. But Trippier doesn't even look 30, 31, does he? Trippier doesn't look 31. He looks a youngster, Trippier, the way he runs about that pitch. And Dan Burn is belying these years as well. So we just got to trust the process on this, and that's the main thing. Is it Anthony Gordon or Claire Bolden? No, Tony. You can decide that one, Pablo, if you want to. You decide that one, mate. I'll let you have that one. Terry, good afternoon to you, Terry. Gordon has a lot of potential. There's a reason Eddie likes him. Absolutely, Terry, 100%. And you know what? We just got to back the guy. I'll back anybody who comes in. And, I did the same when Chris Wood come in. Wasn't a signing that we really were looking forward to, but I backed him. And I'll do the same with Anthony Gordon. I'll do the same with any player. Leslie says, at least he'd be safe at the tomb. Won't see us attacking his car or his home. Yeah, again, I just find it disgusting the way the Everton fans have gone on, and it's beggars belief because they don't get hounded in the media. But as soon as we were having to go to Steve Bruce, we were branded bad fans for having to go to Steve Bruce, this nice family man. But yet, as it's all right for Everton fans to blockade roads and stop players' cars getting through and making them get out the car. So, you know, the media need to really get a grip. Tanji says, when Gordon gets on our training pitch, it'll be like a boot camp. I think he'll respond to, because I don't honestly think Everton as a club knows how to do anything properly. That's the key thing, Tanji. I mean, he's going to see the training methods under Eddie Howe, and then he's going to realise, yes, this is totally different to what he had at Everton, and he knows he's going to have to work, and he's going to have to work his socks off as well. And depends how fit he is. I mean, the thing is, that's the other thing. How fit is he? What was the training methods at Everton? He may come into this and, you know, he may say, geez, I'm knackered after this, you know, but he's going to feel it, but he'll get used to it. And again, we just got to say if it's good judgment by the club in the long term on how good he does. He may turn to be a superstar. Who knows? Trolls, hey Tony, hi again, Trolls. And he says hi to everybody. Mason says, I give him a chance. Yeah, absolutely, Mason. You got to. I mean, 100%. You know, he's got a raw talent, and I've always said he's a rough diamond, and I think Eddie Howe can smooth him out and make him into a gem. Absolutely. Is there a set price for him? Yes, Trolls, it's £40 million plus £5 million in add-ons, which makes it £45 million, and I believe it will be paid in instalments as well, because that's the way we got to go down the road at the moment due to FFP rules. I know people look and think, well, hang on, you've got that much money, why do you need to pay instalments? But again, it's FFP that dictates why you're paying instalments. I hope we've put him on I hope we give him an 8-year contract like Chelsea do, so we can pay it over 8 years. But I bet we don't. I bet we'll pay it in nice like few years or whatever. Yeah, Leslie says. Andrew says, I still wouldn't be surprised if Maddison turned up in the next 48 hours. Do you know what, Andrew? I wouldn't be either. And there seems to be a lot of rumours out there about Maddison. I mean, let's remember Leicester. Leicester sold Wesley Fofana to Chelsea 2 days before the summer window shut, and then panicked and brought Wout Fazen because they needed another centre-half. So don't be surprised if Leicester sell Maddison late in the window. It wouldn't surprise me at all, one bit. So we'll keep an eye on that one, no? Trolls, that stupid amounts of money. I did say I would say up to 40 million for Anthony Gordon, but 5 million add-ons, it might not be nothing major. But the thing is, though, Trolls, what you got to look at is, if Eddie turns him into a superstar, 45 million might actually be a snip. It might be a bargain. Who knows? But we wait and see. Kong's in. Hi, Kong. Hope you're well. He says, I give him a chance, and he's English, so fulfills that part of the squad requirement. Yeah, he does, absolutely. 100%. And I think because he's 21 now still, if I'm right, I may be wrong, but people in the chat may help me out on this one. But I think because he's still 21, he doesn't take up a squad place in the 25-man squad. So that's a good thing to think about as well. Toon Revival, 45 million for an unproven player. Wow, we've been mugged. It's the going rate, unfortunately, for players. I mean, they did want 60, so we've knocked them down. So Everton have buckled here because they wanted 60 million for him, and we were never paying nowhere near 60 million, so they've buckled. Leslie agrees. CD says, I think he can add something different to what we have, but has good pace, just needs to work on the end product. But he was playing the poor Everton squad, so let's just back him. Yes, spot on, mate. I absolutely agree with you. Eddie will work on his end product, no doubt. Yeah, he was. I mean, that Everton team is very, very poor. Some poor players on that side. You know, they can go out and spend a little bit of money before the window closes. But I still think Everton may just go down this season. June says we haven't even signed him yet. The deal isn't done yet. No, the deal isn't done yet. And I did mention this at the start. I mean, he's got to have, obviously, personal terms and medical. Personal terms probably won't be a problem. Medical, you'll have to go through that. Yes, we've seen, you know, I did mention this a bit earlier, but medicals can determine deals. I mean, if something comes up in the medical, maybe we can't take him. Look what's happening to Bournemouth with Nicholas Jackson. They're having a second part of the medical, and some issue with his knees now flared up on that. So it just shows you. But then Southampton want to go and sign this guy. So it's like, well, hang on a minute. If Bournemouth's having doubts over a medical, then why does Southampton want him? But yeah, we just wait and see. As I've said, it's just things are done in that respect with the fee and everything. That's been agreed. So he can now travel, have his talks, have his medical, and then we'll find out if it's all done and dusted. But once the club announce it, then we know he's signed. At the moment, he's still an Everton player, but until he's had personal terms and agreed, and he's had his medical and everything's passed, he then will become a Newcastle player. But at the moment, he is still an Everton player. So none of us are getting carried away that he's actually signed yet, because he hasn't signed yet. But it's just the fact the fee has now been agreed. So I hope that answers your question on that one. I really hope Gordon fires from the start, or will it be another Wood signing? No, he's totally different from Chris Wood. Thing is, we've got to back the owners, back Eddie Howe, back his judgment. Eddie Howe must see something in Gordon, because we wanted to sign him in the summer and we didn't get him in the summer. And if you remember, back in the summer, Everton wanted 60 million. But because he hasn't had a great start this season, but that's not just down to Anthony Gordon, that's down to the whole Everton side. The whole Everton side are poor. They were playing under a poor manager in Frank Lampard. Because Lampard, you would have thought, would have had that side sorted out. After keeping them up last season, you would have thought, right, okay, now he's got his full pre-season behind him, Everton will go. But they've not gone any further than they have under Frank Lampard. They've gone back down again. So where Eddie Howe had a full pre-season, and look where we are. That's the difference between two managers. Eddie Howe is a manager. Frank Lampard is a very poor manager. Tanji says, this may shock some people, but Gordon could possibly even play as a wing-back like Robertson does for Liverpool. We could have him, Trippier, supporting an overlap near Sam and Miggy. Yep, that's a fair point, that, Tanji. Yeah. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Andrew says, I think Gordon is a combative midfielder, possibly a nasty version of Longstaff. We need to establish his energy levels before putting him on the pitch. I think he'll change games, though. Yeah, apparently he's the second fastest player in the Premier League. So there's a great start for us, isn't it? And he goes on to say, Andrew, Gordon reminds me of Gordon Strachan. Actually, look how successful he was. Yeah, absolutely. Gordon Strachan, what a hell of a player he was. Oh, what a player back in the day Gordon Strachan was. Some people might not know who Gordon Strachan is, but he played for Man United. But I tell you what a player he was. I mean, he was small, wasn't he? Tiny Gordon Strachan, but what a player. PDK, hi PDK, he says, question, if Maddison refused to turn up for training to force a move on us, would he get the same off our fans? Do you know what? That's a good question, PDK, and that's the thing. I mean, I never give this lad stick about him not going to training. At the end of the day, I can understand why he didn't go to training, because his head was turned by a move to a bigger club. And that's no disrespect to Everton, but a club that's on the up and a great project. He probably thought, I want to be part of that. I don't want to be sitting playing in a relegation side every season that's battling to stay up in the Premier League. He's probably got goals in his head that he's thinking, well, I want to win trophies. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to succeed. So for a minute, I don't blame Anthony Gordon for 1 minute not going to training. Plus, with the way the Everton fans have been, you can't blame him not wanting to go to training. And apparently went to training today, but trained on his own. So, yeah, so there we go, guys. But yeah, that's a fair point. And anybody in the chat, if you want to have a response to PDK's question, then yeah, please feel free to do so. But I mean, do you know what, PDK? That is a great question. And in fact, that's getting I'm starring that question, mate, because that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And he says, trolls. Andrew says, if we're paying this in installments, that means we still have a cash reserve for Maddison, including Dubravka in the deal. They're desperate for a keeper. Yeah, we have cash reserve for Maddison or anybody else. But unfortunately, it won't be Dubravka going because he can't go. He's already played for 2 clubs this season, so he's not able to. He's not able to go anywhere else in this window or this season. He has to wait till the summer now. Because remember, he played for Man United in the Carabao Cup, hence why he can't play now in the Carabao Cup for us. We played him against Sheffield in the FA Cup, so he's played for 2 clubs already. But yeah, it would have been a great deal to do with Dubravka, though. Toon says, I heard earlier Perez is leaving Leicester. Is that why they're signing Tete? It could well be. Yeah, I mean, Perez is going, isn't he? Because he's out of contract, I think, in the summer, so they're wanting to get him out the door this window so they can get a bit of money. One thing is, they ain't going to get the £30 million back they paid us for him. So, yeah, good luck with that, Leicester. We mugged them off, didn't we? Troll says, with us spending up to 45 million, we may not get any more players, in my opinion. Don't rule it out, Trolls. Don't rule it out. That's all I'm saying. The thing I've always said is, our owners will have the top finance experts looking at the FFP, and they will know how much money they can spend. I mean, Kieran Maguire said last year we could spend up to 500 million. We haven't even spent anywhere near that yet, so we can spend extra money if needed. What if Eddie doesn't turn him into a superstar? Well, it'll be one of life's lessons. If he doesn't, then it's one of them. It's, you're not always going to get that's the problem. You don't always get every signing right. I mean, look at Man United. Maguire, 80 million quid. He's not worth 80 million pound. He's not that great, but that's what I'm saying. There's always flops, and it happens, and it's part of football, unfortunately, and part of life, and that's what happens. We bought Marcelino, I remember, all those years ago. One of the best centre backs in Spain. One of the worst players to ever pull a shirt on for Newcastle because he was always on the sick list. It's just, there's always one comes along. We've had plenty of them. We've had Boom Song, we've had Kasapa, we could list a load of them. Leslie says, PDK, I don't like him, but think the threats he was under had more impact on whether he turned up for training or not, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a fair point, Leslie, fair point. Toon says he does take up a squad place as he's played in the Prem. We can't claim him as a youth player as he's registered already. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that was I thought that I had, but yeah, I wasn't 100%. I was just thinking on his age. Mason said, I'd be happy with one more on a loan from a European club. Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. I mean, the thing is, he's just going to help us drive forward to stay up in the top 4. And I'm not sure. I can't remember if he's played in the Carabao Cup. I'm sure he did against Bournemouth, but I'm not. I might be wrong, but I don't know if he has. He might have, and he might be cup tied. Andrew says, last time Newcastle went to Everton for a young and proven lad was Wayne Rooney. We ended up getting Michael Owen instead. Yeah, I remember that. And because we were bidding against Man United for him when Man U won the race. And at least we beat Chelsea to this one as well. Even though I think they pulled out, didn't they? Tanji says, on Gordon's pace, he's the second fastest Premier League behind Mudryk at Chelsea. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. But this buy doesn't excite me at all. Well, Trolls, I hope once he pulls on that shirt and he starts playing well, I hope you'll come on Monday and you'll say, do you know what? I doubted this guy, but now I'm so pleased we've got him at the club. And I hope, and I believe he'll say that one day when he does do well, Trolls. Honestly, believe me, and I think he will. And that's the thing. I did say this guy will split a lot of opinions, and he is splitting a lot of opinions, but we've just got to give him that backing when he comes to the club. As I say, if on his debut, he dives for a free kick, Trippier knocks one in the back of the net, I don't think anybody's going to complain. We're all going to love it. I mean, we're going to have somebody else who's got a bit of shithousery about them because, remember, I know we don't like it against us, but look what we did last week against Southampton with Seleta Carr when he got sent off. Bruno laughed and celebrated and got booked for it, but then give him a wave, as did Jacob Murphy, you know. So it's proper shithousery. And, you know, I'm sure when he does come to the club, if he does sign, and I say if he does sign because he's got to go through a medical yet, it'll be interesting when he goes on that training ground with Trippier and Shea. But I'm sure they'll forgive and forget. Andrew says personal terms have been agreed 80 grand a week. Yeah, he's only a young lad. That's not bad for him, is it? That's a good deal. Toon says, I know he's a talent. Problem is the goals. If he flops, it's a big gamble. We're signing wingers to defend. He's here to score and create, and numbers ain't great. We need a strike coach. Yeah, but again, it'll be down to the coaching staff to get him in that mindset of scoring goals, and I'm sure it will come. And like I say, we just have to wait and see. Wayne, hello, Tony and the lads. Hi, Wayne. Hope you're well, mate. Joseph says, I think it will be a Newcastle player over the weekend, mate. Yeah, I think he will be, without a shadow of a doubt. This now, if he signs, this might open the door for us to move Fraser on rather quickly as well. Because remember, Fraser is wanting out the club because he doesn't feel he fits here anymore because of the standard of players in the club. So, and I say a big up to Ryan Fraser for actually making that statement towards Eddie Howe, if that's true, what he's actually said. Tony, is this a rumour we are interested in Harry Kane? I've not seen that rumour, Wayne. And I can't think why we would be interested. No disrespect to Harry Kane. Yes, he's a good goal scorer. We know he is. But he's going to be 30-year-old. He's going to be on a hell of a lot of money a week. Do we really want to go down that road of buying a 30-year-old and giving them a few $100,000 a week? I don't think so. I would say no to that. But again, it's a rumour, and yeah, that's all it is, a rumour. I can't see it. I can't see it personally, but who knows? Bruno 42, Gordon 45. Where did reality go? Problem is, Trolls, it's English prices again, isn't it? And, you know, they're always inflated, these English prices. So that's what happens. Toon says it's the left wing problem. Saint is supposed to play there. Gordon won't go straight in the team. No, possibly not go straight in the team. He probably get a few substitute appearances until Eddie Howe gets him used to the side. But again, it's options. It's strength and depth. That's what you've got to think about. And that's what we're trying to build, strength and depth. You know, Man City have got two teams. They could put out a second string team in the Premier League against one of the bottom clubs and still win handsomely. So, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Andrew says Toon tax. Well, yeah, but they have dropped that price, Andrew, to be fair, by 20 million. So, yeah, he will be, Joseph. Paul says, so Gordon is a Toon player. Not yet, Paul. Fees been agreed, 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons, so 45 million in total. He's got to have his personal terms agreed, and apparently he's agreed on 80 grand a week according to Andrew. And also he's got to have a medical, and then once all that's done, all the formalities are done, then the club will make an announcement and he'll be a Toon player. But he is very, very close to being a Toon player at the moment. Anthony from Man U, 95 million. Yeah, again, I mean, that was a ridiculous amount of money for a player. And I've heard people say he's not that great. To be fair, I've not really been that impressed with Anthony, if I'm in all honesty. So yeah, I don't think he's that great. So Trolls, English tax, says PDK, absolutely. Not the English tax, PDK. It's the Newcastle tax, mate. That's what it is, Newcastle tax. CD, I have a good feeling about the last few days of the window. I trust our scouting department that we will get some quality players. Yeah, I think we will as well. I mean, Fabrizio Romano did say last week, and he did quote that on a tweet. He said, Newcastle will be the busiest team in the last week of the transfer window. And Tell you what, that guy does not get a lot wrong. Let's get it right. He gets some things wrong because he's human like everybody else is, but very rarely does Fabrizio Romano get a lot wrong. Exactly, Joel. Still think Europe is the best shopping ground. Yeah, it is, Leslie. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised Everton are selling to us because I thought the Premier League teams were against us. Anthony Gordon was a striker, not a defender for the under-21s. He's an inside forward, got a lot of goals in the Prem. He's going to have to evolve. Again, he will do because Eddie Howe will transform him. I'm sure he will. Trolls, just wait and see Everton pull the deal to mess with us. Well, if they do, they're cutting their own nose off to spite their face, because if they want to go and get some players, they're wanting to bring Arnautovic in from Bologna. So in order to do that, they need money. So they need this deal to go through. So Everton don't want to mess about. Arnautovic come back to the Premier League at 33. Is that a good deal for Everton? This is what I'm saying. Everton are a club in a mess. Why on earth do you want to go and get a 33-year-old striker to come back to the Premier League who went to China and everywhere? And, this is why Everton are where they are. And let them waste as much money as they want to waste. Paul says, let's see how it goes, I guess. I'm not a fan of overhyping him, though. His stats aren't great. He scored 3 deflected goals. Let's see what Howe can do with him. Yeah, that's the thing I'm saying. I mean, yeah, his stats aren't great, Paul. I totally agree with that. But I just think Eddie Howe can make him a better player than what he actually is now. So we're going to have to be patient, but we'll see the transformation, and I'm sure we'll see him grow into a better player under Eddie Howe. Two Navarro says, you can't defend him. He's paid by them. Sorry, he's let himself down. Sean, he can do that to his boy club. Would he not do it? Yeah. Well, you've got to look at the way that club is at the moment too. And I mean, it's not just the fact of him. I mean, look at the way the fans have been terrorising the Everton players. Do you expect any of them to want to stay there? There's probably a few of them want to leave there, to be fair. So that's the answer to that one, I'm afraid. Tanji says, all stars reflect Everton as a football club. Yeah, absolutely. They've bought poorly. That's the problem with Everton. They've bought a lot of poor players. Just like Joelinton stars under Steve Bruce compared to Eddie Howe. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look how he was under Steve Bruce. He kept playing him up front. Joelinton, everybody wanted him out the club. Fans didn't want him at the club. We all said he was poor. We thought there was a clause that he couldn't be dropped because, the former owner paid 40 million quid for him. Eddie Howe puts him in the midfield role. Now he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. So, yeah, absolutely. That's the transformation, and that's exactly what Gordon could do. Dubravka's played in cups, says Andrew. It doesn't affect the league. All right. I thought it was just because he's played 2 competitive games for 2 different clubs. I thought that's where this ruling comes in. But I'm sure it's a FIFA rule that you can't move clubs if you played competitive games, and as they were competitive games. But I may be wrong, and we'll have to look in on that one, I suppose. Stat says Tangi, yeah. Mark says, we are the richest club in the world. We are shopping at the richest club in the world, looking for bargains at Empire stores. Bet he won't get 3 goals in a season. Again, it's one of them. We just have to wait and see what happens, Mark. And I suppose time will tell if it's a good buy or it's a bad buy. If it's a bad buy, you learn by your mistakes, simple as. But when he signs, we'll back him, and that's all we can do, and see if he delivers. Tanji says, yeah, Anthony was a luxury for Man U at 95 million euro. Yeah, he was. He's a luxury. Good afternoon, Tony and chat. Early finish, beer in hand. Good afternoon to you, Davey. Hope you're well. Knight says, we don't know what has happened, so what gives people a right to comment? He could have been told to stay away after what had happened with the fans. He's 21, give him a break. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, That's what I'm saying. We've got to give the guy a chance. We've got to give him a chance. Jones says, I can't see Maddison leaving Leicester. I think Gordon was the player they thought would please the fans. They feel Gordon is now not a wow signing. Howe got that wrong. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that comment. But I think, but let's just see what happens anyway with Gordon. Heard anything about Bruno signing a new contract? There's rumours going around that he signed a new improved deal, but again, that's just rumours. We don't know what's exactly happening on that. But again, we just wait and see, and we will find out. Maddison gets injured a lot, says Tanji. Yeah, again, but could that be down to the training methods? That's a thing. I mean, we've had some injuries, but nothing major. We've not had a lot of injuries, have we, really, this season? But it comes down to training methods as well. Troll says, well, the price is why I'm critical to Gordon. If we gone for 30 million max, then great deal, but 45 is too much. That's it, Trolls. At the end of the day, mate, it's all about opinions. And that's what's the great thing about football. It's all about opinions. And yeah, but as I say, you never know. It could turn out to be a snip. So we watch this space. Mark says, we are. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Sorry. Has that repeated, has it? If he takes ESM's place, I'll never like him, says Truss. Thing is, I don't think he's going to get into the team for a while because he's got to get in. And I believe ESM, and I'm hoping ESM and Isak start on Tuesday. 100% Trolls. And Knight says, Martin Dyer need of a crystal ball. Could you please suggest somewhere, as you seems you're working wonderfully? Don't know. Let's see. Talking to Mark. Get what I'm saying, Tony. Eddie said to players to excite us. Gordon ain't a wow signing. We had Bruno wow, Botman wow, Isak wow, Gordon. What the F? Let's be honest, we are pushing for top four. He's not that level. Again, he's a young player. And he fits the profile. Youngster. He's energetic. He's fast. He's quick. And he can help us in this pressing and intensity game. So we'll just give him a chance. He's not the wow signing we wanted. But do you know what? The club could have something up their sleeve for an exciting player coming in. And that could be announced at any time without anybody knowing. Even the media might not know. Won't lie, like I've never been a fan. He irritates me, but if he's in the black and white, I'll always back him and give him a chance. Yeah, spot on, Paul. Absolutely, mate. That's all we can do. Give him a chance. We've got to back him. That's why too much money for a kid improving. What are they thinking? If he flops, well, if he flops, he flops, and that's the thing. You make mistakes. Man United made an £80 million mistake with Maguire. They got ripped off. So let's just give him a chance. Alan says, hey, Tony. Yes, I agree. Got to give him a chance. How has been right so far? Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Agree with you 100%, mate. PDK Trolls. Football's all about progression. If he takes Saint's place, that will be down to Saint and not Gordon. Absolutely, PDK. The thing is, if Maxi gets a starting berth, he has now got to realise that to keep that starting berth and to stay in that starting 11, he's got to play well week in, week out, because he will know that if he drops his performance, he'll be out of that team like a shot, and then it'll be hard for him to get back in. That's why Target couldn't get back in after he went out when I think he was ill or had a slight injury at the time, and Dan Burn took over, and he couldn't get his place back because Burns played so well. That's what football's all about. Once you get in that starting 11, you've got to keep that shirt on your back and keep that berth, because if you don't, you're going to be out that team and somebody else will take your place. And this will just put a little bit more extra pressure on ESM, but it'll make them perform even better. I reckon Shearer should back away from punditry and become our striker coach, learn from the best. Do you know what, Paul? That's a great shout, yeah. Because Shearer's a tremendous striker. I mean, legend. But yeah. But I don't think that'll happen. Tanji says, some fools think because we're the richest, we should be bragging about 100 million signings. That's the thing, though, Tanji. That's the difference. We're not going out there smashing transfer record after transfer record for players. We're doing everything sensibly, but we've got to also be within the FFP constraints as well. And that's the problem. Until the club get on a footing where FFP doesn't become an issue, then I'm sure we will be signing players with bigger brackets. But at the moment, we just got to be careful what we're doing. Kane is due for a new contract at Spurs. He ain't going anywhere. Well, that's what I heard the other day, Paul. He was going to do a contract at Spurs, but then they were all saying Man United want him in the summer, so God knows what's happening. Trolls with the ESM has played. He deserves to start, but he keeps him on the bench and it's annoying. Again, like I said, I hope on Tuesday we start with ESM and Isak, because when they come on against Southampton, they changed that game. They changed the way we played that game. So they have to start on Tuesday, in my opinion. Bellamy the second, says PDK. Yeah, I mean, when Bellamy come to the club, I was never a fan. Thought, hang on, he scored 6 goals for Coventry the previous season. Why was signing this guy for £6 million? It's not worth it. But I'll tell you what a player Bellamy was, and it was a change of manager. It was Bobby Robson, and look how well he done. Wayne says, yeah, I know Tony's 30 years old now, but Eddie's looking for young talent. Don't believe it. Like, yeah, absolutely, Wayne. Yeah, I would always say, whatever's put out there by anybody who thinks they're an ITK, just take it with a pinch of salt on Twitter. Tangi's English like Grealish, going to Man City for 100 million, still into Chelsea for 50 million. The age he is. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing about it as well. It's he's young, isn't he? So, and we've probably got a bargain. Grealish hasn't set the world alight at Man City, and he went for 100 million quid, like you say. Yeah, absolutely. Alan says, you're right, Tony, we need a strong bench like all top clubs. Yeah, absolutely. Declan Rice is going to cost the earth. Yeah, he will do, but apparently Arsenal want him in the summer. So, again, that's another one. He's going to be it's going to be well over 100 million for him, I think, for Declan Rice. Arsenal put a bid in of 60 million today for Caicedo, and that was turned down by Brighton. So, yeah, I think they're going to go back in with another offer. And Brighton only paid 4.8 million for Caicedo, by the way. Paul says, seen it's all agreed, mate. He's just have his medical, that's it. Yeah, it won't take long, that's for sure. Troll says, Sterling's a proven player for 50 million. We buy Gordon for 5 less than that. Insane. Yes, Sterling is, but has he set the world alight at Chelsea though, Trolls? No, he hasn't. He's been dire at Chelsea. And I don't think he was that great for England in the World Cup, if I'm all honesty. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. But remember, Gordon's 21. He's a lot younger than Sterling. Nate says, we got the best striker in Prem history. Why isn't Alan coming to do some shooting practice and give pointers? Get him hired. Hashtag get him hired. Yep, that's going to start off now, isn't it? Sterling looked good, surrounded by class at Man City. He looks shite at Chelsea. Yes, he does. I totally agree with you. Toon says, look at Tetty, 22, proven decent player, right winger, 80 million to Leicester. We are looking in the wrong places. This, of course, our director of football finding him for England, not for the best of our club. Again, it might not be a player that's on our radar. At the end of the day, we've got to trust our owners, and they might have different ideas and different targets. But anybody, like I say, anybody just joining now, yes, there's been a fee agreed for Anthony Gordon, 40 million plus 5 million add-ons. And talks on personal terms and also a medical as well. So we await for all that wait and see on that one. So let's get back to some more comments. When I get back to where I was, the comments are flying in here. Troll says, it's a great deal for Everton. We all hope they buy him. Oh, you mean for Arnautovic? Yeah. They want to buy a 33-year-old striker, let them get on with it. They could have had Chris Wood, really. We could have done a swap deal, I should imagine. Boss is a desperate mate. We did the same with Wood when we were in the... Yeah, absolutely. That's what they're doing. But is Arnautovic Premier League standard still? That is the thing, is he? I mean, yes, he was great at Stoke. He went to Man U, didn't really do much, and then he went off to China. But to me, I don't think Arnautovic has got it anymore. Not in the Premier League. Rolly says, hi, Tony. Looks like the first one coming through the door. 2 more will do nicely. Actually, Rolly, it's our second sign of the window, mate, because we signed Garang Kowal, remember? So, yeah, he's our second signing. To 90% of fans don't want him. They think he's flopping a small kid, wanting money and a dream move to a big club without proving he's good enough. Again, we just wait and see. To be fair, Big Joe had 2 seasons here with the same players till the summer. Yeah, absolutely, trolls. Do you know what? Look at the difference Joe Linton is now. That's what I'm saying. Got to trust the process. It's them key words. Trust the process. Those 3 words. Alan says, watch the YouTube versions of him, gets lots of crosses into the box and passes. The scouts from here must like him. That's the thing. That's the thing, Alan. Yeah, they must do. Scouts must absolutely love what they've seen. And they've obviously checked him out and his background and everything, and that's why we've gone for him. Guys, I got currently 43 watching. Great effort. So if you could please smash the likes, that would be great to help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification will let you know when I'm live, a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. So thank you very much indeed for that. Get back to the comments. Andrew says, maybe all the rumours up to the last few days have been deliberate sabotage. It would be surprising if we said we were looking at the window for Aldi and Liddell. That CFC would try and gazump us. Yeah, that's the thing. Because Chelsea, every time you go in for a player, they want them, don't they? All we can do is give the lad a chance as Chris. Gordon is only 21. Eddie can work his magic again. Yeah, he can. Absolutely, mate. Andrew DB. Hi, Andrew. Are you all right, mate? He says, oh, dear, that's my feeling. Mistake. Time will show it. Yeah, you'll have to give him time, Andrew. Rolly says, Gordon is a shithouse, but he'll soon be our shithouse. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Davey says, bet he scores more than Wood. Yeah. Let's hope. Knight says, all this doom and gloom that a long time ago we were ignoring transfer windows as we'd not get anyone in. I'd say this is definitely better than no one coming in. Absolutely. Totally agree with you, Knight. Look at the windows we had under the previous regime. It was like lastminute.com. This time we spend money. PDK says, I'll take that bet intact. I'll bet he'll get more goals and assists than Biggie in a full season. There we go. Wow. We shall see. Wayne says he's still just a kid, so we should give him a chance. Absolutely. His post was eyes emoji. Everyone thought it was to do with his contract, but it seems more likely the Gordon deal to me. Like, yeah. CD, if you could get one more signing in before the end of the window, who would it be? Me personally, I think a player that can contribute to goals, which is much needed. Yeah, so who could we get? Who would I want in the window? I'll tell you what I want. I want somebody who can create. Somebody who can create and help us score more goals. And there's only one man can do that, and that's James Maddison. He could be the creator. Imagine him and Bruno in the midfield. Jeez, God, honestly. I mean, fantastic. But again, I'll be very surprised if Maddison comes in this window. I've always said Maddison will probably be a summer window because there'll only be 12 months left on his contract. So I think he may be a summer window. But again, it's one of them. We shall see, and we shall wait with anticipation on that one. But it's going to be certainly an interesting few more days till the window finishes, and then and then we'll see. Troll says we can't afford 45 million stakes yet. If he comes, of course, hope he comes good. Yeah, absolutely, mate. 2 secret signings, Diaby and Maddison. That's what I hope. That would be fantastic, Wayne. Yeah. Andrew says, what we need to remember is a 5 sub rule. We need a bigger first team squad, hence the reason for keeping in Maxi, bringing in a few more quality. Look at Man City's bench, for example. Yeah, absolutely. They've got 2 teams, Man City. That's the thing. John says, deal's done. Well, almost, John. Not far away, mate. And if he says the fee is structured so that we're not paying the 40 million up front, absolutely, mate. 100%. Nice to see on my channel. Give it a subscribe, please. Thank you. That'd be great. And a like if you like the video. Danji says, if we're sensible now, we can spend more in the summer. Absolutely. It's probably we're just trying to get a couple of deals done just to keep us where we are. Because where we are at the moment, I bet this, especially the Saudi owners, the PIF, they will want us in that top 4 come the end of the season because they know next season the Champions League is a lucrative league and it brings a lot of money in. Alan, did I hear you say earlier that he can play both left and right wing? Apparently so. Apparently he can play right across the front, even though he's predominantly classed as a left winger, but he can mix it up as well. So, yeah. So if you want him on the right, you could do you could probably switch him with Almiron and he can do an inverted winger role as well. So, yeah. Paul says, people grief Kane for being loyal to his World Cup, so what if he's not winning trophies? It's all about enjoyment and loving the club you play for. Shearer did the same. Absolutely, Paul. 100%. Totally agree, mate. Andrew, never liked Bellamy either. No Dyer. Shithouses. Yeah. But Bellamy did well for us, though. That's the thing. Andrew, hot off the press, Messi in Newcastle. Sorry, it's just on the news and I overheard it on the telly. It's been a wind-up today. Few bins have gone over. It's just Messi in Newcastle. I like it, Andrew. Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, fantastic that. BDK, done deal, get in. Yeah, we're still waiting for that to be announced now with the Anthony Gordon deal. So we're still waiting anticipation with that one. Hope you win the Carabao Cup, says Arsenal for life. Yep, I hope we do as well, mate. We've just got to get past Southampton on Tuesday. I'm confident we'll do that. We'll get past Southampton, and then get the final. It'll probably be Man United in the final, but I hope we beat Man United, get them back for the FA Cup, and then yeah, and let's hope we beat them. So yeah, thank you very much, mate. Cheers, Arsenal for life, says Andrew. Yeah, he's a nice lad, is Arsenal for life. Paul says Arsenal for life, so do I. Too many Man U fans think they've already won it. Yeah, they do. Done deal, let's back him. Hopefully he makes an impact this season. Yeah, I'm just seeing if it is actually done, the deal, because I've not seen anything yet to say it is officially done. But if it is, I mean, Alan Stubbs has just come out, former Everton defender, and he says while he's given Sean his backing, Sean Dyche, he says the current squad that Everton have will get the club relegated, and that's coming from an ex-player. So that just shows you that they're going to go down. So Alan Stubbs thinks Everton's current squad is not good enough to stay in the Premier League, and he thinks they'll be relegated. Well, we hope, because that'll be our prayers answered if Everton go down, because they need to go down. They've been flirting around relegation far too much. So, yeah, let's hope. And we wait and see. Harry the lad, shit signing. Watch ESM get sold by stupid Eddie now. No, he won't be. Eddie ain't that stupid, but there's no way St. Maximin's going in this window. And yeah, there's no way no way ESM's going anywhere. And talk of £26 million, that is just ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. Hope you win the league. Arsenal for life, says PDK. A green night, off gaming windows under previous owner were a joke. Absolutely, Alan. Hang on, Tony, that's what Gordon's here for. So why do we need Maddison to have hyped Gordon up so much? Gordon's here to help, yeah, but Maddison is still a class act, and he's still a creative midfielder. So why don't you want Maddison at the club? It doesn't mean to say because Gordon's coming in, you can't say Maddison, because why can't you? Maddison's in the centre, a central attacking midfielder. It's not a winger, although he can play on the wing, but he's more preferring in the centre. Great, surely that's what blind scouts think Gordon does. Should have been Maddison. Yeah, we've all got our opinions. Maddison be available in the summer. I think he's holding out to see who makes Champions League. Yeah, maybe he is. Dujan Richards, the young Jamaican, has arrived Newcastle to start his trial in February. Yeah, I've heard a lot about this lad. He's supposed to be good, isn't he? Don't think ESM's going anywhere. No, he isn't, Trolls. Toon TV, nice to see you on board, mate. He says, let's see Eddie and the backroom staff do with Gordon. Definitely lots of potential. There is Toon TV, absolutely, mate. I mean, this is what I've said. If anybody can get the best out of Anthony Gordon, it's going to be Eddie Howe. And we just got to back him. And simple as. And great to have you on board. And do it to subscribe, mate. Cheers, thank you. Chris says there's a rumour Sean Dyche is a new Everton manager. Official announcement still to come. Yeah, he's going to be the new manager. I don't think that's I think that's a knock and bet he's the new manager. Just seeing what they've got on Sky. Still nothing on there to say it's a done deal yet, but it's halfway there. Dujan Richards better than Gordon would cost Nakol. Well, we'll wait and see. Trolls, the SM's going nowhere, says PDK, absolutely. Andrew says James Maddison will not come to summer. He'll sit on his contract and then sign for another club for a massive 20 to 30 million sign-on fee. If they don't let him go now, he'll give them the finger. He's got every right to, hasn't he? I like Sean Dyche, says Andrew. I would have had him before Eddie came in. Yeah, he's not a bad manager, Sean Dyche. He's done a lot with Burnley and under tight budgets. Next to come is Neymar. Read it earlier, says Trolls laughing. No, we don't want Neymar, thank you very much. He's got a very shitty attitude. Leslie says, what happens if we like what we see? Can he stay at the club? Are there restrictions on youth? I don't think there is restrictions on youth, to be fair, Leslie. Anthony Gordon's an inside forward, not a winger. He was a striker. He put out on the left. Go watch the under 21, says Toon Revival. Yes, we'll keep him as a youth player, says Davey. Leslie says thanks. I meant left or right side. He's predominantly left winger, Alan, but he can play. He can play anywhere really. Is Gordon cup tied? Says Ian. I'm not sure, Ian. That's the thing. I can't remember. I think he might have played against Bournemouth. When Bournemouth beat them, but I might be wrong. If he hasn't, then he won't be cup tied, and then he can play. So yeah, but I'm pretty certain he did play for Bournemouth in that Carabao Cup game before the World Cup. So I'm gonna actually have a look at that and just see if he did, because I mean, I don't know if he has or not. Bear with me, guys. I'll just check it out. Yes, he has played in the EFL Cup this year. He's played one match and got a yellow card. So yeah, he has played. So he's cup tied. Yeah, he's cup tied, guys. Yes. Foxy. Hi, Foxy says, obviously overpriced, but it's expected buying from the Prem. Good luck to Gordon. Hope Howe can get the best out of him. He has Prem experience, so Expect to see top level performances now, no excuses. Absolutely, Foxy, totally agree with you. ESM isn't going to be sold, says Sean. Yeah, absolutely. According to the press, 30 goals for Kingston College with 19 assists. Not a bad season. That's not bad stats at all, is it? Andrew says, I think with Daesh there, they'll stay up. Time for Southampton to be the shock dropper this year. Would love West Ham to go as well. But Quetta, are you watching this? Yeah, I mean, look, you know, that's a bad move for Quetta now, and I think he's probably regretting it. Andrew, Paqueta could be a bargain in the summer if we don't get Madison. Yeah. Hopefully he performs his trial in, says Leslie. Yeah, let's hope, Leslie. Sean says, can't see us. Therefore, signing Diaby in the summer only. Madison. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Ian says, in Eddie we trust. He must see something in Gordon, young English signing. Yeah, absolutely, Ian. We got to back Eddie. We got to back the process. Trust the process at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. CD, it's a squad game. We will need it in Europe and to challenge for trophies. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Charles, doesn't matter. Madison has 18 months on his contract. Thought it was Tielemans who had 6 months left. Yeah, Tielemans only has till the summer. But I think maybe what we saw of Tielemans against us in the Carabao Cup was probably enough for us to say, no, thank you. Because he wasn't great. Andrew says, yeah, we need a balance between English and foreign players. We also need to be conscious of the number of African players in the first team for African Cup of Nations every other year. Yep, that's the thing. You've got to be wary of that because the African Nations Cup, you do lose players. Leslie says, thanks for the update, Tony. Catch the rest later. Yeah, thanks, Leslie. See you later. Tone says, you're only cup tied if you're still in the cup, Tony, so he can play. Yeah, but he's played in the cup, so I can't see how he can play. But we'll see. Because Dubravka can't play in the Carabao Cup because he's cup tied because he played for Man United. So Anthony Gordon's played in the cup, so he can't play either. Toon says Anthony Gordon's not an Eddie Howe sign, he's an Ashworth sign, and who wants him? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Tielemans issues his wages, absolutely tangy. But how can improve Tielemans? Yeah, could do. And Chris says Gordon can't play for two different clubs in the same competition. Yeah, absolutely. He's already played in the Carabao Cup this season, as I say, and he's got a yellow card to his name. So yeah, definitely he can't play again. Foxy says African players who's playing the African nations from us. Exactly. Andrew, no doubt Ashworth and the team will also be in negotiation with foreign-based players for coming in on a free transfers in the summer that can continue beyond the deadline. Yeah, you can, yeah. Anybody you can do pre-contract agreements at any time with foreign players. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, guys, I mean, so today it's got massive that this is Anthony Gordon. The fee's been agreed with Everton, 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons, making it 45 million in total. Splitting a lot of opinions. At the end of the day, once he gets through his medical and everything, he signs for the club and he's got that black and white shirt on. We give him 100% backing and see how well he does. And, you know, may well turn out to be a cracking signing. He could be a flop. Who knows? But we just got to back him and see what the lad can bring to Newcastle United. And, you know, we back him and we also trust this guy's judgment, Eddie Howe. You know, manager fantastic. He's done brilliant for us. And, yeah, we shall see. So, guys, if you like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search settings. So smash those likes. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. So yeah, so it's been a bonus today. I've given you 2 live shows today. Yeah, so Anthony Gordon is on the verge of joining Newcastle United, and So we watch that one with anticipation, and let's see what the final few days of the window brings in, and see who else comes in by 11 p.m. on transfer deadline day on the night we play Southampton in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. Foxy says, we have no African players to ever worry about that. Bart and Cisse left a good while ago. Yeah, they absolutely did. So did the Army, more the Army. But yeah, we haven't got to worry about that. We don't have any African players in the team, but you never know in the future. Great show, Tony says. Chris, thanks very much, Chris. Andrew says, Foxy, we could get some in the imminent future. There's some great players out there. Yes, there is. And that's the thing. Yeah. But if we did bring any African players in, we just got to make sure that when they were at the African nations, we've got the reserves and backup that can come in and take their place whilst they're away competing in the African Nations Cup. Toon says, he's the only player we are signing for me. I think they only went because Woods left. Again, we wait and see. You never know. You never know when Newcastle. We might have a couple of surprises up our sleeve and that we don't know anything about. So we shall wait and see on that one, guys. But yeah, guys, like I say, it's split a lot of opinions, but at the end of the day, Anthony Gordon's close to come to the club. We have to accept that. Back him. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what Eddie Howe can get out of him. And like I say, like I mentioned earlier, also coming from Italy, the agents come over from Italy for this player, Denzel Dumfries. Apparently, us, Newcastle, Chelsea and Man United are all interested. Inter Milan won 35 million for him. He can play right back, right midfield. I would love to get this guy in 100%. He's a cracking player. We've just got to compete with Man U and Chelsea. If we can do that and get this guy in, he'd be a cracking signing. I didn't think we were looking at a right back for this window. Certainly not of his quality anyway. But there again, when it comes up and it's offered, you can't turn your nose up at it. You've got to think, oh, hang on, we need to get in there and have a chance of getting this player because Denzel Dumfries is quality. He had a great World Cup. He's a phenomenal right back, and be the ideal successor for Trippier in the future as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one, see if anything develops from Denzel Dumfries. But that's the rumours going around. His agents in the UK, and apparently it's like I say, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Man United interested in him. But again, it could be rumours, but we just wait and see. That's all it is, rumours, until anything official comes on the club on that one. Or you see any yellow tickers on Sky. So, Foxy says, and Andrew, yeah, true, but even one boat isn't a major issue. Many top teams have African players, so it's the same for all teams. Yeah, look at Liverpool when they had Marnie, Salah, Keita, so they got a few, didn't they? Andrew says, Chelsea and the like have suffered having 3 or 4 in. We just need to be mindful of that. Yeah, absolutely. I think the same happened at Liverpool a few years ago. Yeah, certainly did. Ashby next says PDK. Yeah, that would be a cracking signing if we can get him in. Terry says Dumfries is a class player, but he's going to cost a lot. Yeah, well, apparently Milan won 35. Inter Milan won 35 million for him, so that's all they're asking for. But again, if there's a chance of getting Denzel Dumfries, don't let that one go. Get him, because he is a class act. But yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm coming to the end of the show, but thank you very much. Don't forget to hit those likes on the way out. It really does help the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe so you can keep up to date with any new content that comes out. Until my next show, guys, thank you very much. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And onwards and upwards for the Toon. Away the lads. And let's get behind Anthony Gordon. See what he can bring to the club. And more importantly, on Tuesday, let's make sure we go on to Wembley in the Carabao Cup final against, we more than likely will be Manchester United. So let's hope we beat Southampton with a great performance and smash a few goals in. But until then, guys, I'll see you on the next show. Take care. Bye-bye for now.